I want to make very clear what is dynamic tone mapping off, so you understand how to use it. And this is also gonna be useful if your OLED TV or your display doesn't have HGIG, because you can get a very similar result with dynamic tone mapping off than what you can get with HGIG. So with dynamic tone mapping off, the TV is doing tone mapping. So what you need to figure out is on your specific display, what is the target peak brightness for the tone mapping. So for example, on this LG C1, I know that the target is 4000 nits. So if you select dynamic tone mapping off, then you go to the game, and if the game gives you the option, of course, I know this is the Division 2, and I know also Forza Horizon 5 give me the option. So you have the entire range basically from 600 to 10,000 nits. So what you do is you select 4000, and that is gonna give you a very good HDR. It's gonna give you the peak brightness of the sun. Let's see, where is the sun? It's hidden right now. So the peak brightness of the sun is going to be up to 800 nits, because this LG C1 can do from 0 to 800 nits. So by having dynamic tone mapping off, the TV is going to do tone mapping. And what that means is that the TV is going to put those 4000 nits in range from 0 to 800. So the equivalent of 4000 is going to be 800. That's what the TV is doing. So you need to make sure you have on the game the correct setting. So the correct setting on this LG C1 is 4000. If your TV is a different TV, you need to figure out that number. And an easy game that I know to figure that out is Forza Horizon 5, because on Forza Horizon 5, when you are adjusting the HDR, you have a picture that is going to clip. So with the symbol of Forza Horizon, that picture is going to clip when you turn off dynamic tone mapping and you increase that number. So it's going to clip exactly at the point that you need, basically. So that's it. That's what I wanted to share on this video. And by the way, when we see on the games this kind of black screen, that is a perfect moment to adjust the black level. And I have the black level raised on this game. So what I have to do is I go here to the screen brightness, and let's fail again that mission. Let's go. Let me see, how can I fail the mission again? Just go out of reach. So what we do is we adjust that brightness until we have perfect blacks. And of course I have to get my head close to the screen to do a perfect job and repeat multiple times just to make sure. Okay, so it's actually 50 is okay. 50 is okay. It doesn't have the black level raised. I don't know why I thought the black level was raised. Let me try one more time. This is so important, because if you don't have perfect OLED black, you cannot get that infinite contrast and that amazing HDR. So let's see again. We're gonna get that black screen here again, and I can check that out. So basically, no, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's 50. It's 50. No problem. So that's it. That's what I wanted to make clear. What is dynamic tone mapping off? And now that we are here, let me tell you what is dynamic tone mapping on. And more than what it is, because the technicalities is not really relevant. What is important is how can you use it. So dynamic tone mapping, you can use that at 4000. You can use it basically at 1000, 4000, and 10,000. I mean, you can really use it at any specific brightness, but there is a chart, basically with information of the roll off and technical things that are not relevant. It doesn't matter. You have to know the dynamic tone mapping is gonna work very well at 1,000, 4,000, and 10,000 on this LGC1. It's gonna work well really at any point, but if you increase this to 10,000, you can use dynamic tone mapping, and really that's the solution for many games that don't have sliders, like for example Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War. They are mastered at 10,000 nits and they don't have good sliders, so this is your only option, dynamic tone mapping on. So you get clipping, especially on Horizon Zero Dawn on PC. You get a lot of clipping, but on this game, for example, it's working very well. It's not ideal. The best option on this game for sure is to set up that peak brightness on 800 and use HGIG on this LGC1. That's gonna always be the best option with this LGC1, but I just wanted to explain you all the options and what they do and how you can use them, and that is very useful because it's not like, oh, this option is good, this one is bad, and and there's no way you can use them. Of course HGIG is the best, but there are some games that don't give you good sliders, or they are coming master at 4,000 nits and there's nothing else you can do. So for example, if I get a game that I know is 4,000 nits, I'm going to use dynamic tone mapping off instead of dynamic tone mapping on, because that's gonna give you the best picture for sure. I don't know of any game that where that's the case, but that would be the way to go in that case. So this information is very valuable. And how can you know what is the game trying to do? You take a screenshot. So you press Windows Alt and print screen at the same time, and Windows 11, or if you have a gaming console, I don't know how you take a screenshot. You probably know, of if not, just do a search. So you take a screenshot and you open that picture using the HDR WCG app. Okay, so with that app, it's going to tell you the max CLL, which is basically what the game is trying to output. And by doing that on the console, you can do that on the console. Just take the screenshot and open that screenshot on the PC with that app, which you can get for free on the Microsoft Store. I have other videos on the channel explaining that, and that's how you know what the game is trying to do. And if the game is trying to do 4,000 nits and you have an LGC1 and you do not have sliders, then you can use dynamic tone mapping off, and that's gonna give you the best picture. If the game is trying to do 10,000 nits, then you do dynamic tone mapping. And if you can adjust the slider, you do 800 and you use HGIG. So that's it. That's what I wanted to share on this video, just to make clear what all the options are and how can you use them. And yeah, I'm enjoying this game. It's looking fantastic, this game, The Division 2. So I'm just gonna play here, and the recording is going to stop in a moment. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. So that's it. If you have a TV that doesn't have HGIG, use tone mapping off, and you just have to figure out what is the target tone mapping for the TV. So yeah, the game is looking fantastic, man. So good. The colors are great. The HDR is great. It's looking phenomenal.